5 banner review. Am I going for Navia? I'm gonna try my hardest to not pull. We might do like 110 pull. Just to see. But I think it will be 50-50, right? Because we lost 50-50 on Farina. We just happened to get her early. Let's take a look at what's new in the events. Hot on the Trails is live, so everybody should be playing this. Everybody should be playing Picturesque Life. This web event is actually quite cute. I actually enjoy it. The artwork is amazing. It's very chill, you know. Easy crystals, right? So for free-to-play, this is more important because for free-to-play players, every source of crystals is like absolutely you need it. For players that are topping up, you can kind of ignore this if you don't care that much. But it's a really cute event. I think it's great. I still need to go play the rest of the side stages and the chapters. So like if you still haven't done it, you guys got like 13 or 12 days left. Because this does go away at the end of the patch. I went ahead and already finished this, so make sure that everybody that is doing spending event stuff, the spending event itself ends before the shop goes away. So just pay attention to that, right? If you are still trying to get these, you know, little breakpoints and stuff. And yeah, for everybody who hasn't played the event, you have until basically the end of the patch to play the event, but the shop will stay for like an extra week after the update. So usually the shops will stay a little bit longer than the event. Guys, I honestly don't know if I'm gonna have time to do a fan art submission this year. My biggest frustrations with fan art contests, and this is a common thing, not just specifically for Hoyoverse, but like for a lot of fan art contests, that like you'll commonly hear a lot of advice for for artists not to participate in fan art contests because you're not getting paid for it. You know, if it's a passion project for fan art contests, sure, but a lot of fan art contests end up just being like unpaid labor, you know, so in my case, because I started working that job now, do I need this fan art contest? Not really. But it would have been fun. It would have been fun if I had the time, if I planned ahead better. I think what I might start doing is, like, I might start working on an unpublished piece that I just don't showcase to anybody and I just don't release, right? Going into the future, so that I always, like, when a contest gets ready to line up, like, I gather all the progress parts together, and then, I do a delayed submission that way. And that's a good way to, like, long-term plan for upcoming contests. So, like, if I know that 2024 there's going to be a similar contest that has, like, a Blades and Flowers version, I can start working on a Blades submission in advance, rather than trying to crunch, like, in a month. Anyways, that's how I see it. Bundles, all the stuff from the beginning of patch have gone away. All the Black Friday bundles are kind of like very mediocre, and I don't recommend them at all. The ADV stuff is like okay-ish, but remember ADV doesn't carry forward, so chances are, like, if you're topping up for ADV, you're going all the way on the ADV banner, or at least till the card drops. Ish. This bundle will be okay for regular spenders that have already bought all the other bundles and have already used your first time double top-ups. Now remember, the order of priority for people who are topping up is double first time bonuses first here, and then B-chip bundles like this one. But mainly, if you really want to bank your value at, like, your weekly and your monthly focus supply are really high value, but this is after you've already used your first time bonus on the crystals. Anything else of note? Not that I can think of. some of these like really low cost ones could be argued to be slightly value because you're getting like some kind of low tangible bonuses on top of the crystals. Like 60 B chips to 60 crystals is your 1-to-1 ish, but then you get a special outfit coupon which would cost you more crystals. Like, you know, where is it? You know, this would cost like 100 B chips for 10, right? So that would make this, you know, 60 for 60 crystals and 5 suddenly more attractive. But this is very, very, like, stuff like this is very, very situational. And it really depends on the individual player. I will just look at this and say, like, just try to avoid this kind of stuff, because it's there to bait you. Same thing with the ether fuel. Like, ether fuel is farmable. At least with the special outfit coupons, like, special outfit coupons are generally harder to come by, right? You kind of have to either get them from outfit gachas or you get them on your way to the outfit bingos. So, like, okay, maybe this one's a little bit better than the others, but this one is not that good because advanced skill mats are basically worthless compared to the B chips, right? Same thing, like Asterite, you just get so much passive Asterite if you just play the game. So stuff like this is obvious bait. All these other things are also really not that attractive because, like, the Black Friday pack as a consumable item, like, a lot of the stuff, again, like, the only thing of value would be the special outfit coupons. Everything else is just farmable. Passive Asterite. Yeah, might as well be Azurite. You might as well be farming for Azurite power on a scenario grind. What was it, Island Expeditions? Fen lived. Yeah, I survived Black Friday in retail. The joke earlier was like, I survived 2 wars. I survived an army deployment where I had to survive holiday mail season, and I survived Black Friday on retail, so... Hi, Food Fight. Welcome. Good afternoon. It is 4 a.m. for me, but, I guess on SCA it is afternoon time. That's the other side of the world from me. Let's go take a look at the banners now. So these went live, I guess, technically yesterday. Flame Sign, is she still worth it? She's fun. She's iconic in the story. Is she still worth it to pull? If you're a new player, probably not, unless she's your absolute favorite character. Hey, look, 8 more fragments and I could get to SS1, but how many more pulls is 8 fragments? This is a trap for me, because 8 fragments could easily be like 20, 40 to 40 pulls, so depending on how lucky I get with the Essentine. So for those who are just on the cusp of another rank up, don't be fooled. Yeah, don't be fooled, don't do it. Xeno, because Aponia is in ADV. Aponia in ADV is kind of like, okay, well, if you stopped at S2 early on, you know, ADV could be a good way to finish your road to double S. I am in the position where, because I just don't want to spend money, I'm just gonna wait for Aponia to end up in Battle Pass. Now, if you are a spendy player and you really like Aponia, like old Jennings and Kronos, you may opt for the ADV. I remember very clearly Jennings, he cited not getting Aponia to triple S as one of the reasons that he quit the game. So for those who waited, you know, now you have a chance to get her to double S plus for less money. Kronos, I think, actually has Aponia already been on ADV before? I think Kronos got her to triple S the last time she was up on banner. Do I have enough for Star Wars Griseo? Probably have enough, yeah, for Star Wars Griseo Dark Knight. I probably just won't rank her up. I'll probably just pull her gear and slow farm her like I usually do for SP battlesuits. Yeah, it's end of the patch. Going into week 5 and in week 6, it's end of the patch, so there's not a lot of special banners. A lot of it's just gonna be reruns. So the quick verdict on Focus A and B, I'm just gonna tell y'all straight up, like, just it's not worth it, probably, unless one of these characters is Gears, is, you know, one of these characters is your absolute favorite character, in which case you can kind of justify pulling on the Gears. But if you pull now, chances are you're probably planning on skipping next patch, right? Or you're not playing, you know, semi-meta plus. You know, the issues with rolling on Focus A and B here is, like, you're basically going 0 out of 200 for the guarantee. Doesn't even matter if the off rates are good for you or not. Chances are they are good if you're a new account, because it's gear that you don't have and you need placeholder gear to tie up loose ends, or like you know, you're making use of whatever up until you get completed sets together. So, you know, and weapons. You need placeholder weapons when you're starting a new account, right? Or when you're in progression mode. But the problem is that by rolling on this just for the sake of, you know, filler gear, you're using crystals that you could use to target your SP banners that will have a less, what am I trying to say? A lower guarantee count, right? Like, because Skywalker Griseo next patch will have 120 guarantee. 120 pull guarantee for full set gear, which is really good value. A lot of times, like, your best value as a F2P player or a new progression player is going to be on these SP gear banners. So spending on any of this right now is just not worth it. It's just not worth it. Like, Xeno, Murata, Himiko, Oslog, Handle, and Sushan Gear. Sushan Gear, as good as it is a year old. And it's in the off rates, which is like, you're not pulling on this banner for the off rates anyways. Everything else here is like, it's also a year plus old. You know, Xeno is a year old. Everything is just old. Everything here is just old. Yeah, like the Himiko and Oslog sets is almost 2 years old, for example. So the weapons, you know, at first glance, it's like, yeah, it's okay. But then you look at it on second glance, it's like, well, Key of Radiance is 2 years old. Falcon Flare is like a year, almost 2 years old. Yeah, it's 2 years old. You know, it's almost 2 years old. Like, a year and 11 months, you know? A year and 10 months old, you know? Elysian Astra is a year old. Iris is almost going on 3 years now. Starlance almost, like, also 3 years, right? Starlance came out at the end of 2020. Sheesh. Key of Ego was also like 2021. Lost Conviction, that was last year, so I just wouldn't do it. Like, as good as Xeno is as a placeholder for Lightning, you know, maybe if you're specifically trying to build Shadow Knight for Elysian Realm, but even then, I still wouldn't recommend it. If you're only missing 1 or 2 pieces and you don't mind burning, like, you know, 50 pulls to try to get 2 off rates that you can use a Wishing Well for, okay, maybe, but, like, that's also very risky, right? Like, trying to get Wishing Well. But again, remember, if you do have Wishing Well available to you, remember that you can use the toggle, right? So, like, if I have it on, I can't use 2. Can I? Oh. I guess it doesn't matter if I already have, like, the full set. But yeah, toggle off if you want to use 2 of the same. Toggle on will force you to use like 1 of each dupe or something like that. Or vice versa. I forget the specific language on it. It should be toggle off. You should leave it off so that you can use 2 of the same. And here, like, here's another example, right? If I have it on, it's gonna force me to use mid and bottom. But if I have it off, I can use bottom and bottom to pick one. So let's take a look here. This was definitely one of my favorite sets. The artwork is amazing. You know, my favorite character. But as a fire set, I think the only characters that could really make use of it, apart from Flame Scion, I guess you could technically make some use of it with on Utu on Vermilion Knight, and then like, funny enough, Blood Rose could kind of use it. You don't get any of the Hersher bonuses, but the B piece, you could kind of use it, right? You could kind of use the B piece with the M piece. Yeah. Funny enough, the Himiko set was good on the Fire Himikos. Huh, who would have thought? But yeah, look at the gear here. It's all old stuff. Zither's Lament, that's a 2020 weapon. Key of Reason, 2019. Who's in charge of these off rates? That's tragic. Final Form Destiny, that was given out for free. We don't even run that team anymore. because you just use Rebirth instead of HOS now. At least one was a remaining items check. Yeah, at least one is so that you don't use up having the toggle on prevents you from using your last copy of a specific of a given slot. It's basically designed to prevent you from using the stuff that you need to keep a copy of. But it doesn't help you if you need to use multiples of the same type. And it's trying to force you to use like ones that you need to keep a copy of, right? Yeah, Rudder and Dream, probably the most recent out of this whole list. Rudder and Dream was Aichan's weapon, released at the end of last year, which is coming up on 1 year old. Like, all these weapons, they're not bad to get one copy of, but the hope is that, like, if you're rolling on this banner, you hope you never get these off rates. You just hope you get your up rate as early as possible. And then you dip. You know? Paganini MB is still good for progression. Turgenev is still excellent for progression. Shakespeare Adrift is craftable. Carlo Collodi. I need Carlo Collodi pieces. I just need one more Carlo Collodi piece that isn't Carlo Collodi B. But I'm not gonna roll on this banner for it, you know? Would I roll on it? No. My verdict on Focus A and Focus B, heck, all the banners right now, is easy skip. The only banner I wouldn't skip, and this is conditional too, is maybe for the ADV banner. If you're already at S2, you make enough money to spend, you know, 200 to 400 USD each version. Maybe you decide you want to go from S2 to double S. That might be the only scenario where I could recommend the ADV. And as a reminder, ADV pity does not carry forward. So if you do decide you want to pull an ADV, make sure you hit one of the breakpoints, right? The breakpoints are as follows. 25 to get to S1, which means you need to do at least 30 pulls. 50 for S2, that's 50 pulls, right? And then, you know, S3 and double S is another. S3 is at 75 and double S is at 100. What does that mean for you? Every 10 pulls, you get 1 stamp. Do fragments drop? I don't even think fragments drop anymore, right? Fragments don't even drop out of here anymore. You just have to, you just pray for the card. Yeah, so non-awaken is 30. So every card that you do get for Aponia will be 30 fragments. Aponia is non-awakened. Usually for an awakened ADV, they will give you twice as many stamps every 10 pull. It would be like 20, 20, and then on the 30 pull, they'll give you 3 stamps or something weird. And it changes too. It changes depending on which battle suit is up rate on awakened too. It used to be different because like it used to be on an awakened battlesuit, like every 10 pulls was like 10 or 20 fragments, and then for a non-awakened, they would only give you 8 fragments. It'd be like 8, 8, and 15. Something stupid. Alright, so question from the chat. You already have Luna full set. Is it a good idea to pull ADV to unlock Aponia? Alright. I'll say it once and I'll say it again as many times as needs repeating. You never want to unlock a battle suit from ADV unless you are absolutely prepared to brute force the banner. Why do you never want to try to unlock from ADV is because ADV supply, we'll read it up top here. ADV supply does not carry over the drop counts left for the 10 drop guarantee and the 100 drop guarantee to the next round. Basically, you either all in till you get a card or you don't pull at all. Because if you stop pulling on this banner, it's like your crystals just evaporated into thin air. Next Griseo is SP and you don't have interest in full set for her, so your plan is to save for the banner of 7.2. Yes, so if you're not playing like semi-try-hard or above on the meta, and you don't find the next SP Griseos set valuable for clearing endgame content, I would just hold crystals to the next attractive banner. Yeah, that's a good point, Akame. ADV has a less chance to get the battle suit, right? S rank chance here is 1%. Let's look at expansion here. Drop rate details. S rank is 1.5. And this pity carries forward. So, is ADV a scam for new players trying to unlock? Yeah, it is a scam. For players who already unlocked and are just trying to get a little bit more rank ups, like maybe you're just, you know, 1 stamp away from SS1, or like, you know, maybe you're 3 stamps away going from S3 to double S. Not that much of a scam. I just wouldn't do it if I was a new player. Like I said, the only situation that I would recommend this to a new player is a new player with big money, deep pockets, that's trying to brute force to catch up. This is the weekly banner review. It is. You really want Aponia, but it's a bad idea. It is a bad idea unless you have deep pockets. If you have deep pockets, I would say do the 100 pulls and just get her instantly to double S. If she's your absolute favorite character. If you only like her a normal amount, I would just say wait till she's in Battle Pass or wait till they give her out for free. Are we due for Foca Expo soon? Tentatively, Christmas time. The last 2 weeks in December, tentatively, Global will get Foca Expo. There's a slim chance we might just not get it at all this year and then just make us wait till Spring Festival when Part 2 comes out. I don't think that's gonna happen. I think they're just gonna give it to us like last year, and they'll just, Christmas time, the last two, literally the week of Christmas and then the week going into New Year's. They'll probably post a schedule for 3 rounds of Foca Expo, and each round rotates twice. Full set SP Valks carries you more than unlocking DPS. True. If you do care about endgame progression or like being somewhat, caught up on meta, rolling for SP gear is probably the best way to do that. The more SP gear that you roll, the more you snowball into being caught up on the current tech. SP gear generally holds their value really well. So like, let's use last year as an example, right? Like if you pulled for Bastet for Pardo, going into this year, you could probably get by a little bit better if you didn't pull Kira. If you pulled Turgenev 2 years ago, you were in an excellent position because Turgenev just lets you skip a lot of other SP gear. What were some really good ones this year? If you pulled multiple sets of Aladdin, it just kind of allowed you to ignore other previous physical damage buffing SP gear like Paganini in a few circumstances. Paganini having shield break utility is still nice in certain scuff scenarios. Ichan 3-piece. Ichan 3-piece is one of the more skippable ones. It's definitely convenient to have had, but Ichan 3-piece was definitely one of the more convenient ones to skip if you were not pushing like bleeding edge content. Ichan 3-piece is definitely one of the ones where like if you just invested in Turgenev, then you could get by without Ichan. Yeah. I was trying to think like what were some really good ones from this year. Aladdin was really good this year. Prometheus gear was really good, right? Dr. May set is just, yeah, like Aladdin and Dr. May, those two sets kind of suck that they both released back to back, but like both of those sets were just cracked. Was that this year? Paga M, Carol was end of 2021, beginning of 2022. She was the last battlesuit of 2021 in 5.3. Because it went 5.3 Carol, 5.4 Silverwing, and then 5.5 was Equinox and Spina. Long live Turgenev and long live HOS. True. Yeah. Now, Kira gear was good, but also, like, because of the way that ice teams work and whatnot, like, Kira gear could be considered one of the more skippable SP gears, right? People were saying that you could do Bastet TM, Irene B, was it JST, It's just there's a lot of like existing ice stigmata that can slot in well and achieve 70 to 90% of what Kira gear will provide, which is like when you're looking at scuff alternatives, that's already very generous. Oh damn, this looks like a very clean run from Echo here. I wonder if they'll just kill it here. As long as they don't screw up seeds, they could just kill it, right? They could just pull it this pull. They could just get it this pull. I'm watching Race the World first for those that are watching on the VOD. But anyways, that's pretty much banner review. Just save. Yeah, I don't know that I like it as much when they release these SP battle suits that don't have a strong two-piece, or like the two-piece is like it's okay, and then suddenly the three-piece is like turbo cracked. I liked back in the day with stuff like Shuijing where like you could do like Shuijing TB and it felt really good. Oh my god. Echo going into 35%. Oh shit. Are they gonna do it? Are they gonna have enough seeds? They're losing raiders. Oh no, raid wipe. 24 point whatever percent. Echo might kill it before Liquid wakes up. I don't know how I feel about that. Anyways, that's the banner review.